If you want some ideas on how to food prep to save you some time, save you some money, and really just make your life more efficient, watch this video. I'm gonna show you all the foods that I food prep every single week. Hi guys, it's Mona, and today I want to show you how I food prep. You guys have been asking me for a while to show examples of like meal prepping, food prepping, how I cook. If you've watched my channel, you know that I've showed some basic things I cook because I really am kind of a simple, basic cook. I don't do anything too extravagant or anything that takes too long. So this is all really going to help you save some time, make sure you're eating healthy. One thing I want to point out is that my food prep is different than a lot of other food prep you might Google or watch on YouTube, because a lot of those are fitness people who are really like counting their macros and tracking everything. There are certain times that I track my macros when I have really specific goals, or I'm really trying to either like gain a little bit of muscle or lose a little bit of fat. But right now, for the most part, on my everyday life, I don't track. So my food prepping is more just getting all the healthy foods that I want to eat washed, prepped, ready to go, so that I can just either pop it on the stove, throw it into a salad, and really just make my life easier and make sure that I'm eating healthier. A huge part of food prep is making it so that when you have something to grab for, it's something healthy, because we all know that when you're busy, you will grab for whatever. Like if I'm starving and I have none of this prepped, I'll just grab for some crackers or chips or whatever I have that might not be as healthy. You might hear a little bit of noise in the background. That's my oven. I have it preheated because I want to show you one of the things that I'm so into making right now. I actually posted this on Instagram the other day. I don't know if you guys saw. You follow me there. I bought some fresh beets at the farmer's market the other day, and I just decided to bake them in the oven because beets are probably one of the healthiest foods on the planet. They're one of the best anti-cancer, disease-fighting foods. And you know, buying food fresh and in its natural state is always the way to go, but it can be a little messy. I know when I used to buy beets, I would boil them and then taking them out and having to slice them. Literally, it looked like someone was killed all over the countertop because it's just red everywhere and it stains. So one way that I found that's much easier and more efficient is to just bake them in the oven. So this is with the skin on, and when the skin is on, they don't leave any red marks. It's really only when the peel is off, that's when you're gonna get like the little red spot. So literally all I did was cut these. They came from the root. So if you go and find beets at like your farmer's market or grocery store, you'll see it comes on like a long root. All I did was rinse them, slice them. I'm putting them in this foil. I'm gonna put them on my pan and bake them until they're soft. There's no messing this up. Really, you could check it every 10 minutes, and when you easily slice a knife through it, that's how you know they're ready. Pop this in the oven. Okay, so I have that baking at 425. I'll probably check it every 10-15 minutes, and as long as I can slice through it, then I know it's ready. I really wanted to show you guys the beets in real time, but they are still baking in the oven. So as far as the beets, if you haven't given beets a try, I really recommend it. When you make them fresh, they honestly taste so much better than when you buy them out. Like, world difference than when you buy them canned. Not even the same. Like, I feel like they shouldn't even be considered the same food. So try it, just see what you think. Like I said, all you have to do is put them in the oven and then peel them. You'll know when it's done when you can just like easily slice a knife through it. They taste so fresh. I recommend adding maybe like a little sea salt and balsamic vinegar, putting them in a salad, sometimes with a tomato and cucumber and avocado. It's really delicious. If you guys do give beets a try, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you think. I'm really big on cooking certain things in bulk and then giving myself the option. Like, one thing I don't like about really specific food prepping is I might not be in the mood for that food that day. It almost feels like you're on a meal plan, and I kind of like to give myself the option of what I feel like eating that day. Of course, obviously keeping it clean and healthy so that I'm staying, you know, on all my goals and my health goals. Two things I really like to make are quinoa and lentils. Quinoa, if you guys have probably seen, I eat cold, I eat warm, I eat it in the morning as oatmeal. Like, it's just something that I feel like is a safe food to always have cooked. Quinoa, if you don't know, is a grain. It's kind of similar to like a rice in the texture, but it's got more protein, more fiber. It's really amazing for you. It's great if you're working out, especially if you're vegan or vegetarian. When it comes to quinoa and lentils, I usually like to sprout them. So really all that means is you're just soaking it in water for like a day or two, and that helps you better digest it. But you can also find some quinoa that's pre-sprouted. If that's the case, it's amazing because it's gonna save you time. You don't have to worry about it. So in this case, this one I have is from Thrive Market. It's already sprouted. I could just cook it, pop it into a Tupperware, and then save it in the fridge. And like I said, you can really eat it warm or cold. And the cool thing about quinoa is that it can be used as either your main dish or it can be used as a side dish. Like if you aren't vegan or vegetarian and you're having like some fish, or even if you're having tofu, that can be on the side. Whereas sometimes you can just have it be your main meal, saute up some veggies, and then you have like a little stir fry. The next thing is lentils. So there's all different kinds of lentils. You've got red, you've got black, you've got green. I like red because they're very easily digested. Of the three, if you can't tell, I'm really big on what is gonna help your body digest it the easiest, because I personally don't like to be bloated, and I have a very sensitive stomach. Honestly, I can eat the wrong thing and like look 3 months pregnant. It can happen like within 30 minutes. So any trick I can find to make sure that I'm digesting things properly really helps me. So red lentils. Now we're gonna do the sprouting because I don't have them pre-sprouted. This Tupperware I can try to link below. I like it because it's glass, so it's safe. Like let's say you have your cooked food in here and you want to warm it up. It's safe, it's BPA free. It has little dividers in here. Sometimes I use the dividers for certain things, but other times I just pretend it's not there. Add some filtered water. And I just make sure all the lentils are covered in water. If you have a little too much, it doesn't matter. It's not an exact science. Cover it up, and then I put that in the fridge. And you know, you can look into sprouting. Maybe we can do a whole video on sprouting. Like there's obviously like really cool ways to do it where you're like really doing it the right way and you're letting it like hang in a certain, there's bags you can get and you replace the water every couple days. I personally just like to do it for like 1 day, maybe 2 days. If I do it for 2 days, I'll rinse it the next day and then add more water. I don't like to have the same water in there for more than 1 day, but for the most part, to be honest, it's really just 1 day. Another cool thing about soaking lentils or even beans, whatever you're cooking in bulk, makes them cook so much faster. So when you're buying, just quick note, if you, let's say your bulk item that you like to cook are like black beans, whatever it is, kidney beans, things that you can make like that can serve as like a side dish or a meal, make sure that you're not buying them canned. When you're buying something canned, again, it's processed, there's preservatives, it's just not in its natural state. Also doesn't taste as good. So if you're gonna eat healthy, go all the way. What's really annoying is if you're trying to eat healthy and maybe eating something that you don't love, but you like, and so you're kind of sacrificing a little bit, but then you're not even getting that much benefit out of it. Like that's really annoying. So if you're gonna go for it, just go all the way, soak them in water, and it'll also be faster when you cook them. Next, we have raw almonds. You could say that's all this is. So when I say raw, I just mean they haven't been roasted. There's no extra seasoning, there's no salt. I like to get them very plain. So sometimes you can find almonds that aren't salted, but they still might be roasted. So you're just losing the nutrients. Again, we're going back to let's get the most out of our food. If we're gonna spend money on good quality food, if we wanna get all the best benefits in our skin, in our hair, and our energy, let's make sure that we're getting them in the best state possible. So these are just raw almonds. And then I go one step further and I like to soak these too. So I've got my filtered water, and again, just make sure the water is covering them. Kind of funny fact, I'm Persian. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm Persian. I grew up with my parents would always soak almonds and walnuts in water. I never knew why. I just thought it was the Persian thing to do. And what's funny is when they're soaked, you can actually take the peel off, and I just enjoy the taste that way. They're softer. They just taste better. I don't know, I like the texture better. I never knew that they had this little trick up their sleeve that they're making it easier to digest. So people have been doing things like this for years. We might just not have known why. So really that's the reason why. It makes them easier to digest, and I like the taste better. So with almonds, I'll do this for about a day, and then I'll take them out and I'll rinse them, and then I'll leave them like in a little container bag in the fridge, and they're good. I would say try to eat them within maybe 4 or 5 days. It probably depends. You can see they start to get almost like if they've been in there too long, they almost have like a sliminess. You know when fruit or veggies, you can get that like sliminess to it? Obviously they've gone bad, or if they don't smell right, use your judgment here. But try to eat them soon. You know, the fresher food you're eating, the less time it's gonna last like on your shelf or in the fridge. Real food is not meant to last a year or like, you know, years or months or whatever, however long it is. Last weekend was at the farmer's market, and I decided I wanted to buy really, really fresh bread, and I'm always constantly trying to learn how I could react better to food. Like, you know, will I bloat less? Will I bloat more? So I bought this really, really fresh bread that used like no gums, no sugars, and he was like, look, the baker was like, this is only gonna last you like 4 or 5 days. So he's like, you can either freeze it today or just eat it right away. So I took like 4 pieces out, put it in the fridge, and the rest I just froze, and then I can eat them, you know, as I please. But going to the grocery store maybe twice a week, like it can be annoying, but it means you're eating fresher food. So you can also do Instacart. I do Instacart and get groceries delivered, and it's the best thing ever. It saves my life. The last thing I have is veggies. So this is just a little example of certain veggies. Now, I feel like prepping fruit is a little bit different because it goes bad. Like if you pre-wash like all your berries and like cut your apples up, they're obviously gonna go a little brown. Those I'm okay like grabbing, doing a rinse, and just snacking on them. But there's certain vegetables that I just don't feel like doing in the moment that just take too long. These are actually kind of unique. These are carrots, even though they might not look like it. They're white carrots. I should have gotten orange ones to this video to make the point more clear, but I didn't have any. I like to get whole carrots. carrots. I don't like the taste of baby carrots as much, but you know, you have to rinse them, chop the ends, peel them, and sometimes in the moment, if I just need a quick salad, or let's say I want a snack and I just want to dip some veggies in hummus, I don't feel like doing all that when I only have like 5 minutes. So prepping veggies like this that don't go bad when you rinse them and dry them and peel them makes a huge difference. I find that with celery and carrots, because like the dirt on the celery, especially if you buy organic celery, sometimes it can be really dirty, which is probably a good indicator that it's really fresh. But I like to really rinse them well, dry them, peel them, slice them, put them in the fridge. And this is just so grab and go. Like any kind of dip or salsa or hummus or whatever that you would normally dip a chip in, if this is accessible to you, like you will grab it more. And I love when other YouTubers and bloggers show that they put their veggies in like little mason jars. I should start doing that because presentation is everything, and you might not realize it, but psychologically this really, really works. Like if you have all these sliced really cute in like a little mason jar, it just makes you want to eat it more. It's like aesthetically pleasing. Trust me, if you're at a store and you see it, like have you ever bought something because it just looks cute and it's healthy and you're like, you know, might not taste any different than the one right next to it, but our minds are interesting like that. So these I just keep in the fridge, and that's it. This is just little examples of food I prep, and you know, this can obviously vary based on what your preferences are. Like let's say you prefer walnuts to almonds, you can do that. Let's say there's other veggies that you really like more than what I'm using, you can also do that. Your bulk ingredients could be brown rice, maybe it's black beans, maybe it's kidney beans. Like I said, just making little things like this in bulk. I always also have lemons, and so then I could like, you know, chop up some veggies, put them over like a bed of lettuce, which I could quickly wash and make a salad. Or I could just quickly chop these, put them on the stove and make a little stir fry over the quinoa that I've already made. It's just good to have these on hand as snacks. Also, if you guys want to see a free video I made on how I fight cravings, so basically all the unique little tips and tricks I'll use and specific foods I'll use to fight, like a chocolate craving or a sugary cereal craving, all sorts of things, go to the link in my description. There's a free video I made there and you can see what I do to help fight cravings. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know any questions you have in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.